Welcome to another Manchester is Blue show. Now, I'm smiling, but I probably should be a bit miserable today, coming on the tail end of a Derby Day defeat, which is never good at the best of times. I'm assuming you two have had text messages, emails, and phone calls from United fans thinking they're God's gift, which is never good at the best of times. And we're also at the start of what I think is going to be a raft of Premier League and football matches that are about to be postponed, cancelled. We've obviously had the announcement this morning that the City Arsenal game has been postponed until when we don't know. And it's a bit of a worrying time at the minute, lads. It's extremely worrying if you support Liverpool, I would think. But particularly from a footballing point of view, in general, this I don't know how everyone else is feeling about this, but this could I hope it doesn't. But you know, the sensible person inside me saying if there's a global pandemic, which there is, then the group gatherings have got to end at some point. I can understand why the government's not stopping the games at the moment with regards to what's been announced from the chief medical officer and the chief science officer, but this has got to be the start of games getting postponed. And how long is it going to last for? What do you think?
Well, I think it's a step away from season being ended. I think the way the teams are now, obviously some teams will be over the moon about it, some teams will not be over the moon about it. But football aside, as much as people joke about it, and it is down now, classed as a pandemic, gatherings, like you say, Tom, have to be cancelled. And football, especially in England, is probably one of the most frequent and large gatherings in the UK. And obviously we're seeing what can happen. Most of the Arsenal players are around Nottingham Forest owner over the last week, as he's obviously confirmed he's got the coronavirus, hence the reason tonight's game's been postponed. And yeah, it shows that, you know, even football can be affected, because a German outfit, Bundesliga team, I can't remember what team it was, but a defender from one of the German teams has also contracted it. So yeah, I think it's just a matter of time before the whole, not just football, but the whole sporting industry ends whatever campaign season they're on now, or play it behind closed doors. But I don't see a way around that. Like I said, the Arsenal players have been around somebody who's contacted it, so you'd never know. It could have passed on to players. So it wouldn't surprise me if football's ended, and all sports events are ended this season. Just
to add a bit of update on this from the little bit of research that I've done, we understand that there's 5 Arsenal players have gone into self-isolation after contact with Marinakis. Forgive me if that pronunciation is wrong, and that was purely in the tunnel after the match. So that's bound to be a handshake, possibly hugging. So you don't know what connection they've got with them. The Premier League said there's no plans to postpone any other matches, and all necessary measures are being taken. I'd love to know what that means. What do you reckon, Steve?
Yeah, I mean, I know they were saying that they might even televise all games, which. But then doesn't that bring people together in a pub, etc., where you would probably go and watch it anyway? So they would probably have to restrict that. But yeah, I mean, obviously, like you say, sort of Liverpool aside, I mean, you could make jokes, but you know, it is worrying. I think the season should finish, because, like you say, you know, you've got teams even coming up for the Championship that could be affected. You know, it's a long whole season with only 9 games left, or 8 games left, whatever it is, there for that to drop and then them not get promoted. You know, so I think it's all around at the moment. But I hope it isn't. If we can get through it, even if games are behind closed doors. I know it's pretty poor, but you know, I think we need to get it finished. So not that many games left, is there?
Yeah, I think let's face it, Liverpool have won the league. The thing I'm thinking of, I mean, that's cut and dry. If it was going to be postponed and cancelled now, let's face it, give them the trophy, get it done with. Obviously, it'd be great if they wouldn't, but let's face it, they're going to get it at some point or other. What my worry would be is the teams at the bottom end of the table and the top end of the table in other divisions. They're thinking to themselves, we've got X amount of games to save our skin and stay up. and all of a sudden the league's cut short, they're relegated when they want to give a fighting chance. So I really, from a logistical point of view, from the FA's point of view, and other divisions, how do they manage the expectations of owners, fans of? It's honestly, it's an absolute minefield. I mean, what solutions can we implement to keep football going? Like you said, Steve, I think there was I heard, I can't remember where I heard it from now. Somebody talked about making football free on TV for everybody. So Sky, Amazon, BT, free to air to all our homes, and obviously with the advice of not going to pubs and stuff like that. But people will still go to the pubs. You'll still got groups of blokes going to pubs, going to locations. Families.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know. It's so difficult. I think, we just need to get it finished. Maybe cut these international friendlies out and stuff. At the moment, they're not really important. And just, get the season maybe finished 2 weeks earlier or whatever we can. I think they need to kind of look at the priorities now. England are in the Euros. We don't need friendlies anyway, personally, but even more so now. Just cut them out. 2 weeks, the season is better than 2 weeks it running on as normal. So I think any little bit helps at the moment.
You look at there's over 1,000 Atletico Madrid fans in Liverpool tonight that have come over supporting the team. Rightly so. Why not? City have announced that if any Real Madrid fans don't want to come to the Etihad, then they'll get reimbursement of their ticket, which is a nice touch by City. But I know the government's trying to prolong it as long as possible, aren't they, to get it into the summer where the virus is going to be killed off quicker. That's my understanding of it. But how the British weather, it's been raining all day in Manchester today. How long is it going to take till the summer's here properly? Bit of a grim run, really, isn't it? Bit of a low point, because obviously we've got Madrid next week.
That's not going to stop fans, though, is it? I mean, the game Valencia versus Atalanta last night was obviously behind closed doors, but thousands of Valencia fans were all right outside the stadium, surrounding the stadium, cheering them on from outside. But that's obviously in Spain. I can't see the English, because obviously the government's got to have a say in these matters as well. The actual government, not the sporting governing body. And it's just depends on what's best. I mean,
so it's a tough pill to swallow, this, because City didn't deserve to get anything at the United game. I think we all agree on that. I assume it's got to be anti. There was just absolutely nothing there. The team for me played as if we've got nothing to play for, which is obvious. Except it's a fucking derby. Where's your fight, your passion? I follow a couple of United fans on Twitter, through friends of mine, and they're sharing some of their posts of clips where they're doing some great little one-touch moves in and around the back of us, ripping us to shreds. I was so frustrated watching it, and it wasn't the City that I know. I don't know what you guys thought.
I think I put my team out. What I thought would be what he would go for. I know people were slating saying that Gundo was in there. He's always going to be in there. There's no doubt about that. But the defence for me, as I was saying, if Walker and Mendy are fit, play them. I don't care what anyone says. With the weakness we've got in the centre half at the moment, you need your best fullbacks out there. Cancelo hasn't played, bit part, playing against weak teams. Zinchenko's just come back from injury, not even really been making the team. Mendy's been sort of the Mendy that we paid the £50 million for last couple of weeks, getting forward, getting the crosses in, passing's been crisp, what we've been waiting for, and he sits them on the bench. I don't understand it. Walker's got back into form. They're talking about him getting back into England again. And you play our two weakest fullbacks, and Zinchenko's not even a fullback. It bewilders me. It really does. And Foden again, why is he playing him out there? If they wanted him to be that David Silva replacement, surely you've got to start him playing in that role. There's no point of him playing out wide. because he doesn't get in that front three, when Sane's back or whatever. You put him in that midfield role, because when he went in that midfield role in the second half, he was a lot better. And Mahrez came on. I don't know why he's not playing him either from the start. Mahrez is something to think about. I mean, I think is it Williams, their left back that was playing.
Not sure.
He had him on his ass a couple of times. It was just a poor performance, and he didn't really give one. But he's been here long enough to know, to every City fan, how much that game means to us.
It's just had all the hallmarks of he's done with the league now. Put whatever team he wants out, get the league done. Because his choices. Because De Bruyne was fit to play, didn't play him. So for me, and he's supposed to be our captain, not playing your captain in a derby match tells me that he wasn't that arsed. He just wasn't arsed. And let's face it, if that's his mentality, then it's obvious to me it's Champions League that he's going all in for, isn't it? That's the only logical conclusion with that. But it's a derby, for fuck's sake. You put out your strongest team, your absolute strong. That's a cup final of cup finals. The derby for me, it always has been growing up. I hate Derby Day. I absolutely hate it, especially when we lose. Really annoying.
Well, that's the thing, though, and it's the biggest. No matter how much United have fallen. No matter how bad their players are, it will always be, as you say, Tom, a cup final. It's the one everybody looks forward to, whether it's at home, whether it's away. It's the biggest game of the season, even if there's an FA Cup final around the corner. It doesn't matter. Derby Day is the day. But I completely agree regarding the captaincy side. I spoke to you lads on our private messages saying the one thing we lacked was leadership, and that was Walker. For me, De Bruyne, I understand he didn't play. He needs to come back to full fitness. We don't want to rush him back. We need him for against Madrid. But exactly what Steve said, if Walker and Mendy are fit, they need to play. And I said to you, I'd even go as far as saying we missed a Delph character on that pitch, because we had moments where we were great. We had moments when we were so poor, and that's been the highlight of this season. We just can't continuously gel it together. And I know Walker, if he was on that pitch, he would have gone, "Come on, lads, seriously, wake up. You've got the talent." Mahrez came on, made a few good bits. No one had a bad display, bar Edison. No one had a bad display, but we had no one saying, "Look, I'm going to ram my size 9, size 10 boot up your backside if you don't pull your finger out and get on with the game." Because they just seemed like, when we lost the ball, half-arsed efforts to get back and win it back and go on the attack again. But at the same time, you can say that's maybe the lineup that was chosen as well. Maybe he just isn't arsed, and maybe he's told the players, just play your game. If it happens, it happens.
Just don't get injured.
Exactly.
Yeah. There was no. I don't get why David Silva weren't playing. Last derby, that guy's ever going to play. Where was he? I understand he's got to play Madrid, but I mean, if you look at it now, the players have got extra time off, obviously from tonight. But why is he not playing in his last ever derby? The guy that he might not be the leader, but they know if he's on that pitch, it's controlled. If we haven't got De Bruyne there, you put David Silva there. It's simple. It doesn't take a genius to work it out. I'm not trying to tell Pep how to do it, but if I'm manager, he's playing. Last derby, it could have just been that little change. But I know people were laughing at me about this captaincy thing, but that's where we could have done with a Lewis Dunk.
I agreed with you.
I think was it you, Dan, that messaged me in the private?
I would happily have him.
Thing saying, but that's what we needed then. People laugh at me, but he is a good player.
I am starting to see his name mentioned quite a lot at the moment since you mentioned.
We could get him cheap. But that is what we needed then. Like you said, like a Walker, but Dunk would have just stepped up and said, "Do you know what game you're playing in?" Like Maguire is for them now. He's actually starting to. He's captain. He's starting to take full control now. You can see him. I see his posts on like Instagram and things. That's what we need. There's no one like that. But that comes from an Englishman. You know, you don't really see the foreign players doing that too much, apart from company, obviously. But like a dunk like that would have rolled the fans up before the game. Just little simple things that would have helped along the way. But I do think we need someone like him.
Yeah, no, I can't. Do you know what, mate? I can't disagree with you. Company for me is a generational captain. It really, truly worries me. I don't see another type of captain in our fold that's anywhere near him. And the worst thing is, I don't see anyone in the country that's similar to it. I don't see Dunk enough to be able to see what he's like commanding the back four and the team itself. And I just Pep has to see that. Pep has to see that. I mean, was Messi captain when Guardiola was manager of Barca?
No,
Iniesta or Xavi.
It was Xavi, wasn't it?
Puyol.
Puyol and then Xavi.
Yeah, Xavi.
I think.
Right. So I mean, with Puyol, you know what you're getting with him, don't you? There's that type of character. I can't see anyone with the City team. Oh, it's missed at the minute. It's badly missed. I hope I'm wrong. I hope we go. I mean, we got Burnley on Saturday, I think.
Yeah, Saturday, 3 o'clock.
Yeah, 3 o'clock City. Yeah. If it happens, I hope it does for obvious reasons. Yeah. But like you say, with Silva missing, Silva going to play that game? I don't know.
Well, if to be honest, I'll be even more baffled if he plays that game but didn't play the derby, obviously. That baffles me even more, because for me now, then you rest him for Real Madrid. Simple.
Yeah.
You know, we need that calming influence. They've got Modric to do that for them. We need it for us. If he plays against Burnley, doesn't play against Real Madrid, then I'm baffled. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, why not against United?
We need that in there. You know, we need that little bit of core that we've got left. Fernandinho, David Silva, Aguero. I think we need that for that Real Madrid game. I think, you know, we've done enough. We're good enough at home to score. And I can't see them, I think, because Courtois out as well, isn't he? And he kept him in that game. So on the flips, I think, is it Areola, their second keeper? I haven't really seen him too much. You know, and Marcelo's out as well, I think.
Yeah.
So, you know, if he plays against Burnley and then doesn't play against Madrid, then I'm lost.
Yeah, I think that all the omens are looking good for us against Madrid. Omens are never good, though, are they? Omens are never the beacon that you need, especially when you support City. We need to bring absolutely everything to the game, everything that we should have brought to the derby match, to that Madrid game, because that's, let's face it, I've gone to the stage now where I couldn't care less about the Burnley game. Yeah. Couldn't care less. Yeah, we've got Leicester behind us. I'm sure we'll make it over the edge to get second, because we're a couple of points ahead of them now, aren't we? So it's got to be Madrid or bust for us, hasn't it, as a team? And if we got knocked out of that, then cancel the league. Done. When we play Newcastle, is it the 21st? It's in the FA Cup. It's live on BBC, isn't it? The Newcastle.
Yeah. Another tough one.
Exactly.
They're playing
St. James's is not a decent one.
Family derby for me. Half the family's Geordies.
So
it's going to be very interesting.
I know we said it, and I know Dave would be happy with me saying this. But let's get Garcia on there.
Yeah.
You know, let's get him there now, because I ain't seen him for ages. I think he was on the bench against United. Why was he not at centre half? Why was he not at centre half? Maybe play him against Burnley. You know, let's get him out there. You know,
he had a couple of games, didn't he? He had a run of at least 2 games I know of. I think just after Christmas or just before, around that area. He had 2 straight games, and he never played bad in them. He never had a highlight mentioned like
he didn't concede.
Yeah, exactly, and he just seemed to dropped off. Yeah, and where's he gone?
I don't understand it. Trust me, at the moment, I'd have him over Stones any day of the week.
I said a few weeks ago, didn't I? I'm sticking for every Premier League game.
I think his confidence is lost.
Yeah, Stones is. Yeah, it's starting to feel sorry for him now. That's never good, is it?
But saying that, what was the game before United again? Was it Sheffield Wednesday he played? Was it? He had a mare, didn't he? That led up to a goal.
Yeah,
that was it.
Yeah. He slipped.
Yeah, he had a mare there, but credit to him, he had a great game after that incident. From there on out, he had a great game. Yes, he didn't play well, previous matches.
So the last player like that was Joey Lescott. Always had a mistake in him, but always had a good game, but would still consider the mistake. So
I just think if we've got a youngster as class as Garcia, if we didn't, then all right, let's get Stonesy. That. But if we've got someone that can replace him, which I think Garcia is more than capable of doing, let's use the guy. Let's use him for the rest of the season. As we said, I think it was in the last podcast. Let's just use him for the rest of the season. There's no harm in that.
Yeah,
because obviously, because if we've got Laporte, which I think he should just be rested now, let's not try and rush him back. I know that sounds awful, but I think I'd rather have a fully fit Laporte for a whole season than this is well under half now.
League-wise, this is dead, isn't it? Let's get the Madrid game out of the way and see how we're doing after that, because that's the most important one now, isn't it? What score are you going for Burnley on Saturday?
I think it'd be a 3-0 City.
I have to agree, 3-0.
Dan, it's very conservative of you.
Actually, what's that? 8-0, he says.
8-0. I was going to say parenthood.
Oh, there we go.
One of us has got a main level-headed, haven't we?
Well, we'll do another pod. Has anyone else got anything to add? We'll do another pod before the Madrid game. We'll do another pod before the Madrid game on Monday. I think that'll be good to do. Get a talk after, and hopefully we'll find out a bit more where we're up to with regards to this virus as well, and we'll hopefully go from there, lads. Is everyone happy with that?
Yeah. Come on, City.
Fantastic. Corner you Blues. We'll speak to you later.
See you later, boys.
Cheers, lads. See you in a bit.
Come on, City.
Bye-bye.
Bye.